Well, this video is just simply some similarities and differences between liberals and conservatives. And of course, Democrats, Republicans, but mainly liberals and conservatives. Let's start off with liberals. Liberals absolutely, especially social justice warriors, absolutely, positively cannot stand free speech. That is the thing that they hate the most, is freedom of speech. The real idea of freedom of speech is you agree with me or else. You agree with me or I'm going to yell and scream, honk a horn, or pour urine on you. Lauren Southern had urine pouring on her because she dared to disagree with the social justice warriors. That's how they feel. They feel that's the proper response. No. Freedom of speech, you allow the other person to make their points, and then you give your counter argument. You give facts and figures. For example, if someone makes racist statements or racial statements about blacks committing a lot of crime and stuff, then you find evidence that disproves that. That's all you have to do. If you yell and scream and cuss and get violent, you prove the other side correct, and you prove that you really don't have a valid argument. And of course, college professors in colleges and places like that are where they really cannot stand people that disagree with them. And if you're a minority or a woman and you disagree with the liberals or conservatives, the liberals or Democrats, they're really going to hammer you. It's just how they are. A few days ago in Orlando, for example, not Orlando, D.C., the KKK or some other damn racist organization, who the hell cares who they are, but they went up there to give their typical garbage, And of course, how does a social justice warrior come along? They interrupt, cuss, stab, and act stupid, proving these racist bastards correct. Actually, they make them, embolden them, making them more hateful. That's all you're doing when you behave that way. What you do, you let those racist bastards talk. Just let them talk. You do not need to show up to their rallies. There's no point in doing it. Just let those idiots talk and talk and talk to the fucking wall. Because that's what's going to happen. They're going to talk to the damn wall. Because no one's going to listen to them. No one's going to be there to listen to them but them. And another thing is, you see how fucked in the head they are. And this is the same with, with these same social justice warriors. Respond the same way to these black racists in Philadelphia and other places that do the same freaking thing. Of course, now you'll never hear it. They'll say, well, they have a right to, because white people, blah, 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 blah. No white person today is guilty of slavery. Not every white person is descendant of a slave owner. Actually, very few are. If you really look this stuff up. But liberals, and they can't stand that. And you can't tell them that. If you tell them anything about race or any of that stuff, they're going to call you racist, sexist, homophobe. That's just their buzzwords. That's just how they are. They cannot stand other people's viewpoints. Liberals, college professors are even the worst. Right? They will not listen to someone else's viewpoints. Now, conservatives. Now, first off, I want to say here's a similarity between liberals and conservatives. I want to say before I forget, they both use fear. They try to use fear to control you. They'll tell you the other side's evil and they hate you. They're trying to control you, take away your freedoms, take away your rights, and do this and that to you. Blah, 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 blah. But both sides are doing that. Both sides are screwing you over. You just don't notice it because you only know one side of the argument. That's why I always tell people, always, 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 buy books and read them. Always. There's nothing wrong with educating yourself. Even to viewpoints you disagree with. That you really need to, more than anything, listen to videos and read books of viewpoints you disagree with more than books and videos of things you do agree with. Do not be like some of these bastards out there, okay? They only know their liberal viewpoints or conservative viewpoints. Do not be that way, please. You'll be doing a world of favor if you educate yourself. And you won't be a social justice warrior. At least not these nasty ones. Not all social justice warriors are nasty. Now let's go, let's go now on the conservatives. First off, they seem to really hate knowledge. They hate science. Have you noticed that? And the more liberal the more conservative or more Republican the state is, the more money they want to take away from education. They can't stand it, especially science. They're definitely more religious and more into evolution, and guns and guns. And I support gun rights. I made videos about that. I would never take away a person's right to own a gun. And I'm not going to discuss what I think about it in this video, because I've already done it and I'm not doing it again. But the government's evil. The government's against you. Illegal immigration, and I agree with them with illegal immigration. But build a wall and all this crap. Now, what else was I going to say about them? Because I need to mention it though. Well, both of them, neither side can really take criticism, but liberals are worse. Sorry about back and forth. Like I said, I'm an idiot, so hey, what can you expect? But conservatives, they seem to also not care so much about the downtrodden. Well, that's not good. They should build themselves up. I don't understand how, like, I was in the 90s. I was watching Rush Limbaugh, and he was talking about how to save money for retirement. And his dumbass calls and says, "I don't know how people can have money for retirement. All you gotta do is put $5,000 a month away from your check." Rush Limbaugh was like, "Some people don't even have that in a year." At least he got it. The guy on the phone didn't. And they're idiots that think that way. They actually believe that people are poor because they're stupid. And no, some people are poor because it's not that easy to get out of poverty once you're in poverty. And there's nothing wrong with the government helping people get out of poverty. There's nothing wrong with welfare and government assistance up to a point. Now, similarities I've already discussed. They both love to use fear to control you. Neither of them care for criticism. And let's face it, you should never put yourself in a box telling people I'm a liberal or I'm a conservative. Don't do that, okay? Because if you start educating yourself, start reading books, you're not going to really fit in the liberal peg or the conservative peg. It'll be kind of difficult. The more education you get, you'll be shocked. I mean, you should read. There's just so much, to read. I mean, and this is a book I know you're going to hate. Adolf Hitler, Mein Kampf. He's a nasty person. I know. I agree with you. I agree. But if you read his book, where he discusses how to use propaganda, you would notice that these liberals and conservatives use it to a T the way he expresses it. And here's another reason why, this is the liberal thing. White liberals, they're hypocrites. White liberals, social justice warrior, the white ones are probably the biggest hypocrites. Several years ago, you remember the guy that played Kramer on, what was that? Seinfeld. The guy that played Kramer. He was doing a comedy routine, and these three black men were heckling him. And he starts making racial statements and using the N-word. And a lot of white people walked out. And I would have too, because I don't want to hear that. He has no right to do that. He was wrong to do it, and he apologized. Now, here's the thing. Those white people that walked out when he did it, if the role was reversed, if it was a black man up there making those same type of jokes, and there were three white guys heckling him, and he started going off on white people this, white people that, and using white racial slurs, I guarantee you, each and every one of those white liberals would have kept their butts in their seats and not walked out. And not one African American in the audience would have walked out. I promise you that. Those people are hypocrites when it comes to race. They are. Sorry. I know that offended some of you. And go ahead and leave me hate messages and thumbs down because I said all this stuff. Go ahead. I don't care. I have to say this, and I really don't care about anyone's opinions. I mean, I do care about your opinions. If you can give me your opinions in an intelligent manner, and that's acceptable. And I really, really, really do like links to actual articles, But seriously, learn to accept other people's opinions. Learn to listen to other people. Doesn't mean you have to change your mind. But as some people have said, though, a person who's very strong, is a strong-minded person, is a person who can listen to another person's argument, realizing that their opinion was wrong, and change their mind. How many can do that? How many people do you know are capable of doing that? Can you do that? Do you try to stay safe and only listen to ideas that people that support your ideas? Do you only watch news programs that are closer aligned to your views? Do you only read books and watch videos that are more closely aligned to your views? Whenever you discuss other viewpoints, do you criticize or insult or use sarcasm and all this other stuff? You know, there was a time when you had to do debates and speech classes and stuff. You had to give a debate, but you had to debate an idea you disagreed with. You had to actually look up the stuff and present it as if you agree with it. And the other side had to do the opposite, of course. I doubt these liberal schools do that anymore. They'll be way too scared to do that now, because they're too busy trying to get everybody to be their social justice warrior liberals. You know, and then there's some colleges, they want you to take 2 social justice classes, like women's studies. And I'll admit, those are a waste. It is a waste to take women's studies, crap like that. And they have no scientific backing. If you know how something passes peer review in science, you understand why I'm saying that. They have no real backing. They cannot really prove what they're saying. They just say it and hope you believe it and won't research it yourself. But I still believe that you should take those classes, just to hear what they have to say, if you aren't one of those people that are against the social justice warriors. Nothing wrong with it. And not all social justice warriors are bad. Not all feminists are bad. And it's many of the third wave feminists, you know, that hate men and lock men up, kill men, and these social justice warrior types that like to spit on people and throw urine on people and disrupt meetings. Those are the ones that are bad. You know, you got the Black Lives Matter, you know, they do the same. Not all of them do that, but, you know, some of them are doing the same type of junk. Well, feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment, or whatever. Thanks.